Hi, I'm Ben Turpin and welcome to Whip Finish Industries, the final step in your fly fishing experience. Today we're working on flies that you can tie throughout the winter to fill your boxes. And what we're going to tie today is the elk hair caddis, probably one of the most versatile caddis patterns you can fish. It sits up nice and high in the water, floats real well in riffly fast water. It's just a great general caddis pattern. So we're going to start out with some camel colored 8/0 uni thread loaded in our right bobbin. We're going to lay a nice base of thread down the hook shank all the way to the bend of the hook. All right, we're going to start at the bend. We're going to snap off that little piece of thread there, and we're going to tie in a brown dry fly hackle. We're going to use some whiting dry fly hackle. Good hackle makes a great dry fly. So you have to remember, don't skimp on your dry fly hackle. You want to make sure you have good hackle, and it's going to give you a better looking and a better floating fly. So we took this out and sized it. We're using a size 14 Tiemco dry fly hook. And we're going to cut the feather right above the fluff, and then we're going to clean off maybe an 1/8 inch of those hackle fibers, so we have some stem to tie in. All right, and that'll give you a nice tie-in point. And we're going to secure this hackle right to the hook shank. And then we're going to use some dark tan fine and dry dubbing. Okay, and this is a real fine synthetic dubbing, and we're going to make a dubbing noodle by twisting it onto the thread. And this stuff dubs really nice, real easy to work with. And now we're going to wrap our body. Now a caddis is thicker on the rear end or the hook point end, and it gets thinner as we go forward. All right, so we kind of want to taper it down as we go forward. It doesn't have to be a real steep taper, but you want to taper it a little bit. Now we're going to take our hackle, and this hackle is nice and long, so I can actually do this without a pair of hackle pliers. And we're going to palmer our hackle, or we're going to wind it sparsely through the dubbing. And we're probably just going to get 6 turns. And if you notice, we stopped about a little over an eye width back from the eye. We're going to secure that with a couple turns. Make sure it can't come loose. We're going to stand up that piece of hackle. Trim it. Now we're going to lay an elk hair wing on here, so what we're also going to do is we're going to take our hackle points, or our scissor points, and we're going to trim off that hackle on the top. And that way there's no hackle sticking up through the wing. All right, so we've got some elk hair, and we're going to take the elk hair and maybe about the thickness of like a thick match, wooden match, and that's going to be our hair for our wing. Now we have to stack this to get all these uneven hairs even to make our fly look nice and to float well. It allows us to get more hair in the wing. So we're going to drop that into our hair stacker. We're going to tap it down and get all those nice little black tips evened up. We're going to slide it out. Notice my tips of my hair are pointing towards the back of the fly, which is exactly what I want. Now we need to judge the length of our wing. Now we want our wing to be just a little past the bend of the hook on an elk hair caddis. So we take it right there, we're perfect. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to pinch that down because it's exactly what I want. And then I'm going to just trim that deer hair. I'm going to take it and lay it right over the hook shank with that trimmed section going right out over the eye. And I'm going to start with a couple light wraps, and then I'm going to tighten down to make sure that I get a nice looking wing. Now we need to secure this in place a little better, because if we just leave it like that, it'll roll from side to side. So I'm going to actually take my thread and wind it through that hair a little bit, and then in front, down by the eye, we're going to stand it up a little bit. Try to keep the fibers from getting stuck in there. We're going to put a whip finish on it. Cut our thread. Fluff it out a little bit, makes it look a little nicer. Now I'm going to take my scissors, I'm going to trim those butt ends a little bit, just to neaten the fly up a little. The nice part about this Regal vise is you can rotate the fly around and trim it as you need it. So there's our complete elk hair caddis. It's tied with brown in this case, but there's times when you might tie it with a black body and black hackle to imitate the little black caddis. Sometimes a gray color works a little better, but in general, the most popular color you're going to use is going to be the tan body with the brown hackle. So again, you could scroll down through the list of all the materials. If you need some elk hair, need some better hackle, maybe your hackle is not up to snuff and it's webby and it's not holding your dry flies up, scroll down through the list of materials and you'll be able to purchase that and we can ship it right to you. Thank you for watching Whip Finish Industries, and we hope to see you next time.